What's up, everybody? So let's talk about Ice General Zekus, or as they say in the old tongue, Zekus. So this guy is getting a shift form. It's been data mined. We know it's coming. We know they're going to do Kyle 2. The whole crew is going to be, in shift form, in God mode, Super Saiyan mode, kicking ass. But before we even get to that, let's just talk about this guy's role in this game, because Zekus here is the original free-to-play cheese bomb. That's right. When this game first launched, day one, this was the guy to invest into, because he was the one character that's given to you that is going to ride the meta out the most, and he did for the longest time. This was like the number one used character to clear most content when the game launched. So he is a very important character. He's a very special character. In my opinion, he saved the last Cloudia team a lot of work on having to retune the characters all the time. Instead they could just give you a character like this, who comes out of the box extraordinarily powerful compared to the other characters at the time. And he was going to be able to carry you if you want to run the OG party. So this guy's locked into ice, and that was kind of like, the cheese ball element when the game first launched. The reason I say this is because along the way you fight a lot of the birds of prey. We all know what I'm talking about, the big swan looking crazy ass demonic birds that we fight, and most of them were weak to ice. So on your way to Blaze Garden to fight Zekus, this was the guy. You could cheese ball the hell out of a bunch of ice spells. And for boss fights, this guy was important because he was a breaker. He actually has a good amount of break in his ability kit built in. He does come with breaker. So not only could he spam spells, his actual ability kit lets him use a bunch of ice abilities. They have good crowd control built in, so that's great. And then when you get to the boss, you can spam them all on a boss to break the boss, and you can also throw magic. So this guy fulfilled multiple roles. Matter of fact, I think this is like the only attack mage that we had who has an S4 that doesn't actually do any damage. Okay, Lexerion. This guy's S4 boosts ally strength and intelligence. That's it. His S4 is just a boost. There's no damage in it. And even the way that it is, I gotta honestly say, this guy pretty much beat out the first limited mage that last Cloudia had, and that was Popoi. And Popoi did not get much play just because most people had Ice General Zekus already built up. So if they needed a mage, this guy was going to do it. And he was a breaker. He had all of that going for him. Popoi's S4 actually did damage, but still, most people, they just, invested into this guy, and it was a very safe bet. If you were on the Discord when the game was launching and new players were getting on, who should I invest into? Who should I build? It was always Zekus. It was always this guy. He was always a safe bet, and for good reason, for everything that I just noted. Obviously, since then, he's faded a little bit. So we have a data mine that it's been floating around a couple of days now. People have been talking about it. Buddhafish did a video on it. I think pretty much everybody's mentioned it. So here's the thing: when last Cloudia is throwing banners like this out, right, with UR arc on it, it's pretty blatant pull candy. That is what this is, and it's been called that a couple times. I agree. They want you to drain your resources now, either trying to get this UR arc or getting these characters, which are fairly powerful characters, because they are going to drop Sage Zekus around the corner. So that will be coming soon. It will be a game changer, expectedly so. just because of the place that this guy has in this game, and he's also a fan favorite. A lot of people enjoy this character, and he is cool. He's got a great design. I just look at how that coat moves. That took days of programming right there. No, this guy is pretty cool, and I dig his overall persona in the story. He is kind of the brains of the operation, right? So he kind of keeps the team together, and I've just always thought he was straightforward and really enjoyed him. I was actually really kind of hoping that they would make him a bad guy, because that would be shocking, and that is what makes video games awesome, in my opinion, in these RPGs, when they pull some stuff like that. Let's see, I remember like Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, and one of the people that you got in your party ends up being the bad guy, and you're like, what the and all the items you put on him disappear. Like, when he leaves your party, he takes all that shit with him, and I was like, damn it, Galleon. That's what his name was. His name was Galleon, and he turned out to be the Magic Emperor. So it was pretty gnarly. Now, I don't know what Last Cloudia plans to do. They're probably not going to make Zekus a bad guy, but I think they could, right? Because who knows what this guy's true motives are. He's just far too smart to not have an agenda of his own. Like, is all that I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. Regardless, his shift form is coming out, and it is called... It's pretty much making him somewhat of a sage. Sage is in the name of it. So just based off of that, I'm guessing that, when I hear sage, I think of support. Now, these are all just my opinions. I'm just kind of guessing here. Before I'm, accused of misleading people or something like that. This is all just IMO, my opinion. Obviously, the big issue that Ice General Zekus has in his normal form right here is that he is locked into ice. Obviously, characters have come out who, they might be halfway locked into an element, right? Like, we just got Hammer Girl who, hey, if you're weak to lightning, I'm doing lightning. But if you're not weak to lightning, I'm just doing normal. That is pretty awesome. So, things like that would really help a character like this out. But really, I think, he's probably going to be a potent spellcaster like he always has been. His S4 might do some damage now, or it just might have some absolutely amazing support ability on it. And I don't know, that's just kind of what I think they're going to do with him. And maybe he won't be completely locked in to just ice. And that alone would just make this character off the chain, as I'm sure he's still going to be able to break. I don't think they would take something like that away from him. I think they would, build and improve upon him. And clearly, there's room to do that here, right? I mean, you got an S4 that doesn't do any damage, just giving a very simple, basic strength and intelligence buff. There's just a lot you could do to this character, but it also, this goes to show how far the meta has come in Last Cloudia. I mean, just look at this guy. This used to be one of the most powerful characters in the game. So it'll be nice to see what they do with him. Like I said, I'm expecting, a lot of support and a lot of cool, interesting things. And he's going to be a fan favorite. I'm sure they've put a lot of work into him, and can't wait to see how he turns out. And obviously right after him, or sometime around after him, I think we will be getting Kyle's shift form. And that's just going to be, Super Saiyan cheesy OP. And rightfully so. The guy is the main character of the game. He has the blood of kings in him. At least the blood of a hero. So we're just going to have to see how all that plays out. But I do have to agree with all the other content creators right now. Hold on to your resources. Okay, hold on to your resources unless there's something very specific. I mean, if we go into this gacha screen, I mean, if you have an amazing fire party put together and you need somebody to improv fire and you absolutely need the fire beast, go for it. Or if you absolutely need a really good mage, go for it. Maybe if you get lucky, you'll get a UR arc along the way. But for the most part, I would say everybody should be saving right now, because, Sage Mode Zekus is coming out. It's been data mined. And yeah, let's not beat around the bush here. This banner is pull candy. It's pull candy, right? But hey, if you got it like that, you can do whatever the hell you want. So, I guess if you got it like that, then rejoice. If not, be real smart about it. I'm not doing any pulls. And actually, I don't have the Red Beast on this account. I have Monster Yoda. There's just not enough incentive here for me to go in. And that's just what I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, and the Blaze Garden arc is up too. Okay, so just for the Red Beast, they have a summon. Okay, I guess that makes it easier. I wish they would have put the Great Rune on here. That would have been awesome. The UR arc should be on here instead of Blaze Garden. I think they should be pairing up that UR arc with the characters individually. I mean, if they want to give you some serious pull candy to waste your resources before they drop, an absolutely godlike character. And make no mistake, Zekus will be a godlike character in this game. I can promise you that, just because of how popular he is. He's actually the first remake form that I'm really curious about besides Ray. Ray is absolutely phenomenal. He's still sitting on the very top of his meta. He's absolutely absurd. So I would expect these new shift forms for these characters to kind of, match Ray and Theria. Theria's shift form is absolutely insane. I'm just hearing people talk about how much further they can get in the game just because of her. Her ability to just, come back to life and then bring the whole party back to life after your whole party's been wiped. I've heard a couple people talking about that. So they're just on a whole nother power level. Theria makes clearing everything very easy with heal power. And Ray is just absurdly powerful. I mean, his combos are absolutely insane. He's fun to use. Big MCC rocks him a lot, and I just used him to clear. Actually, I used Big MCC's Ray to clear the Bloody Palace with my Devil May Cry team that was well underpowered. And yeah, it was Ray. Ray cleared it for me. He just beat the shit out of the boss at the end. And hey, yeah, it took like 5 minutes for me to do that, but it was pretty cool because Ray pretty much did that all on his own. My DMC characters died on the very last wave before the boss, since they were only at like 30 SC. So I'm expecting more or less that same type of power level. And you should all too, and we should probably save up. So these are just my thoughts on Zekus and what's to come. And hey, I'm just making predictions here. This is the way that I think they're probably going to shape this character, just going off of the name and just what we expect from Zekus. So these are just my predictions. We'll see how accurate they are. And I have a feeling that we will find out soon. So everybody, enjoy the grind. I will talk to you soon.